Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Indeed, a warm welcome to your Tenem Express host Aisha Latu on this beautiful Tuesday morning, 13th of Feb 2018. And we speak with Samantha Davids, who's a guest speaker at the event, and that is the Women in Leadership Breakfast. Samantha, good morning to you and thanks for taking time out to speak to us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
You are so welcome. An entrepreneur and a creative brain, it says here, from conception to facilitation of hundreds of creative workshops. Tell us about your passion and what is your greatest passion, Samantha?
My greatest passion is to create a safe space where people can express themselves through creativity, through words, through exploring, understanding themselves, and feeling safe enough to be vulnerable in exploring who they are and becoming better at who they are.
Samantha, you're not just somebody hosting workshops and thinking that you can make a difference in the lives of others without having yourself, research as well as studied a great deal as well, not just locally but also in London as well. Tell us about your experiences and also, what you've gained for yourself and how it is that you want to make a difference in the lives of women especially.
Well, first of all, it needs to start off with myself, and I've been on a long journey of connecting with myself and understanding myself better in order to be able to be there better for other people and to go through a process of self-growth and reclaim my voice and my authenticity in my own life in order to create the space and make a difference in other people, to be able to be authentic and have empathy for others and compassion so that they can go on their own journey.
Indeed. I love the word, authentic, because authenticity is something that, even though you're hosting these workshops, you don't want people to be like you. You want them to find their own niche and to be themselves. So is it workshops of self-discovery for them and to know what it is that, best, should we say, strike them or best, bring out the best in them?
Yes, absolutely, because we're all different, we're all unique, especially as women. We all have so many things to offer, and sometimes our differences is what makes us stronger and can be more, and we can offer that to other people. So the word authenticity means so much to me as well. It's about staying true to oneself. It's about being honest with oneself. It's about listening to one's own inner voice and honoring one's values on a path of self-growth and also taking accountability and being able to own one's own journey in the world, because we all make decisions which have consequences. Just encouraging other women to go on a process of self-discovery where they can learn to be themselves, because often we're taught to be a certain way as children, but sometimes it's important to unlearn those paths and belief systems in order to really gain access to our true, authentic self.
Okay, so we speak about you and also how you inculcate all of those in the workshop as well. You'll be one of the guest speakers, and one looks at what you've mastered yourself. You have a master's in art psychotherapy, which you've earned in London. You completed your BA in psych and education. So you have a lot that you can share with other women. Doesn't mean women will be able to do everything you do, or they'll be able to should we say implement or everything that you share with them. But there's something that you want them to take out of this workshop to make it their own and to build on that.
Yes, absolutely. And I think for me the biggest thing is to embrace our imperfections. And self-care is often thought about from the inside out, and from the outside in. But my whole goal here is to talk about things from the inside out. And so what I'd like people to take away with is to be able to love themselves from the inside out, and to be able to look at one's imperfections and to see our lives, our bodies, our children, the things that we've created in our life that we beat ourselves up about, and we want to be in a different way, because Brené Brown talks about letting go of who you think you're supposed to be and embracing who you are. And that's one of the gifts that I'd like people to take away, because this is inner work. It's not just skills to implement in a workshop. It's a practice, a way of being in the world.
Okay. So what can one expect when you're at the Women in Leadership Breakfast this coming Friday?
So what can one expect? There'll be 3 different speakers. I'm the middle speaker, and we're all going to be speaking on self-care, Nourish to Flourish. And each person will take a different take on self-care. So my take is from the inside out, and I'll be talking about boundaries and setting guidelines for behavior that's okay and not okay, and the concept of time out, taking time to be present in activities that are centering and grounding, and authenticity and imperfection, and leading up to the concept of self-love and connection with the self.
There's one word that you've mentioned, that is boundaries. Now, we often find, and you often find people that are successful. They say, you need to think out of the box. You need to set different boundaries, or you need to, like, if there's a boundary, set it a bit further every time so that you can actually grow a little bit more as well. So I was saying that margin line that you put for yourself, that boundary, try and push it all the time. Don't get to a stage where you feel you're boxed in.
Right. So there's a difference between boundaries and comfort zones. And people often think that boundaries imply rules or limitations or restrictions. But in my master's training in London in art psychotherapy, we learned about boundaries as a concept for what guidelines of behavior are okay or not okay. So again, it's tuning into the inside for what's appropriate for each person, and being able to say yes to things which before would have created a lot of fear and uncertainty, and no to things which we would have said yes to before, because that's more protecting, in a sense, protecting our inner self and promoting self-care. So it is pushing the limits in terms of pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones and stretching ourselves so that we can grow and learn and expand.
And I suppose this is what the Women in Leadership Breakfast is all about as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's taking people out of their normal, everyday Friday morning work environments and exposing them to new speakers, new ways of being, new experiences, which encourages people to take on little bits here and there. Even if there's 1 or 2 things that they remember and can take on, it can be quite life-changing.
Indeed. We speak about women in leadership now. We're not looking at the corporate world only, because many times you find that you as a woman, you're a leader in your home as well. So is this open to every woman who feels that she's the leader?
So it's any woman at all. And often women don't feel like they're a leader because they may suffer from low self-esteem or depression or anxiety. So as you say, it's not just women in the corporate field. It's absolutely all women, and we all are leaders in our own right. But sometimes it's taking off the layers of believing that we're not good enough in order to get to that inner leader, which we all are.
As a woman, do you feel that we celebrate ourselves enough?
Definitely not. I think that we have forgotten how to have fun, and we work hard, and our lives are so fast-paced and so goal-orientated that we often forget to stop and to breathe and to find the joy in the simple things, and to celebrate ourselves outside of birthdays or anniversaries, and just to enjoy who we are and how much we've accomplished, and the little things in life, like the smell of the sea, or living in Cape Town, or the inner joy, which we don't celebrate enough.
It's like, a guest of mine yesterday said, don't just look at the ocean and admire it. Admire and ask yourself where it came from, how it was, created, and all of those. So for yourself as well, doing that inner search, which is very important, and getting that self-satisfaction to say that I'm actually perfect. God has created me a perfect being.
Absolutely, because we were all created as a perfect diamond in a sense. And as we grew up, layers and layers of stuff and society and cultural norms and expectations were put on top of this diamond, and we've become far out of touch with our inner essence and that joy, which is actually an innate part of all of us. So part of the search and is getting back to that state of that I'm enough, and that I'm good enough, and I'm more than enough, and I'm perfect with my imperfections.
Okay. You mentioned earlier on you'll be the middle speaker, and your topic would be inside out. Am I correct?
Yes. Sorry, yes?
You'll be the middle speaker, and the topic that you'll be covering is?
My topic is, so the topic is all self-care from the inside out.
Okay.
But each person is taking a different take on it. It's around being a resource for others by first nourishing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about how using creativity to connect to the self and finding your true and authentic voice from the inside out.
Okay, I'm hoping that our listeners had a good ear there, because we're going to ask a question, and there's definitely going to be a giveaway today as well as Friday. So just for our listeners' sake, Samantha, when is this breakfast taking place, and also where?
It's taking place on this Friday, the 16th of February, at the Atlantic Meet in Viso at the waterfront, and from 9 to 12 o'clock.
There we go. And if people wish to, register for this breakfast, how do they go about it?
They need to have leadership and go onto their website, or they can send me an email on info@arttherapy.co.za, and I'll send them the contact person.
Awesome. We say a big thank you to our listeners. You can SMS us at 47913 if you want to gain that ticket or win that ticket to go to this breakfast. And the question for this morning is, what is the topic? What is the topic for this Friday's Women in Leadership Breakfast? Samantha, we say thanks so much for being online with us, sharing, your wealth of information with our listeners, and just creating that and planting the seed of creativity with all our women that's tuned in this morning as well. And I'm hoping if there's a husband tuned in, or, a young man, and he knows that his mom has the potential to register her as well for this breakfast.
Great, thank you.
You're most welcome, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Can I please give you the email address?
Yes, please do, Samantha.
So Symphonia's email address is www.symphonia.net, and that's where they can find Women in Leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And they can email Tasneem, TASNEEM, @symphonia.net for more info about the breakfast.
Okay.
And my website address is www.arttherapy.co.za.
Thank you so much, Samantha, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.